If you're struggling to lift your arms overhead, reach behind you, or sleep without pain, this video is going to be for you. My name is Huang. I'm an occupational therapist and certified hand therapist, and I'm doing this series on how to keep my parents out of the nursing home. So one way is making sure that you can move your legs and walk, but the other area of independence is actually having a lot to do with your shoulders and your grip strength. Because if you don't have really good grip strength, you are at an increased likelihood of going into a nursing home because you can't take care of yourself. You can't open the door, you can't make food for yourself, you can't even do the simple everyday tasks of bathing, cleaning yourself, and things like that. So just making sure that you reach overhead, reach behind you, and then of course to be able to sleep. That's one of the most important things, right? One way to do that is making sure that your spine moves and stays healthy. Our shoulders sit on top of our spine, and if our spine moves well, then our shoulders move. The nerves that come out of your neck and into your hand, there's three major nerves that come out of your neck, down your shoulder, into your hand, that gives you all the power, the sensation to be able to feel for things. Those all come out of your neck. And if your spine moves really well, then your shoulders, hands, they're going to move really well, and they're going to be able to function. So these are the three things that I'm trying to make sure that my parents are doing. And if they're not doing it, I know I'm doing it. So I'm almost 50, my parents are almost 80, and you can share this video with your family that's a little bit older, but believe me, I value staying pain-free, living pain-free, avoiding injections and surgery, and I for sure want to make sure that I'm healthy and I am living independently for as long as possible. Women be living longer than men. That stat is still true. So, ladies, you got to take care of yourself, right? You're going to be living longer. You're going to be taking care of people, unfortunately, and you want to make sure that you are able to take care of yourself first so you can help others. So here are three moves that I like to do with my patients, for myself, and for my parents. So you can sit for this one, but you want to make sure, let me move the camera back a little bit. You want to sit for this one because we're going to move your, what we call thoracic spine. It's right here, and your cervical spine. So I'm going to just move back so you can see I'm sitting on the edge of a chair. My feet are uncrossed. They're on the floor, okay? Do not cross them. Do not cross at the ankle. When you cross your ankles or your feet, you shift the way your spine is. So let's just make sure it's there. Hands are on your chest. This is the way I like to do it. If you can't put your hands on your chest, you can certainly put it on your belly, and you're going to twist. I'm going to put it on my belly because I have my mic right there. I personally like to put it on my chest. So I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to twist in one direction. If you can, look behind you. Take the whole thing all the way back. A healthy spine means that your shoulder disappears behind itself. I'll have to watch this and see if my right shoulder disappears behind my left shoulder. And then you're going to twist in the other direction. Find the direction that feels really good for you and twist in the direction that feels better, right? So I like to work into ease versus restriction. I like it to work into the yummy versus the yucky side, because at the end of the day, you're not moving, when you're moving your body, you're not moving just one muscle or one part. You're moving the whole thing. So if it feels really good and it feels really easy for you, you're more likely to do it than not do it. So go into the direction that feels really good. So you're going to go. So for me, I like going to my left side, and I'm going to twist, and then I'm going to come back to the middle. I do 2 sets of that, and then I could do 1 set of the other side. Now, if both sides feel really even, do them the same. As a therapist, I usually help people when they have problems. So if we have imbalances or we have pain or we have issues, then we tend to work into the ease. If you're watching this and you don't have any problems, then work into both directions. It's fine. So I like to work that, and you do 2 sets of 10. Now, here's my little cheat code, okay? I don't like to spend a lot of time on these exercises. So if you're like me and you want to do less, that means you have to do them more intentionally. So watch me. Hands here. I'm going to twist. I'm going to hold myself there. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to exhale. I'm gonna come back. So then the movement is just a deeper movement, right? So I do less reps, but I'm a lot more intentional about the movement so that I don't have to do so many reps. If you like to do a lot of reps, do a lot of reps. I don't know. This is just educational purposes. If you have problems, if it hurts, you don't like it, stop. Don't do it. Obviously, use your judgment, right? So that's going to rotate our thoracic spine. The other way our spine likes to move is in what we call extension. We're always like this in flexion, right? We're always like this. Everything we're doing in our life is forward. So let's take that sucker back. I like to use a chair that's a little bit higher. It doesn't, you shouldn't have a chair that gives, but if it does, it's okay. I like to tend, with my patients, I like to use this one. But this is just for demonstration purposes. I'm gonna just use this one. But you want something that comes up to the where your shoulder blade is, like in the middle of your shoulder blade, and then you want it firm because you want to lean back into it. Clasp your hands, put it behind your neck, not your head. If you cannot put it behind your neck, you have a problem with your shoulder and you should go get that worked on. Behind your neck, because this is going to move your thoracic spine and you don't want your neck to overwork, right? Like over move where it doesn't need to. So let your elbows fall forward. Now you might see this in a lot of different places. I like to have the elbows fall forward so we can really isolate the thoracic spine. When your elbows are out like this, you put a little stretch onto your shoulder. And I don't think it's really necessary, especially if I'm trying to isolate the spine. Take them elbows, drive it up to the ceiling, and then down. Drive it up to the ceiling, and then down. Right? That's it. So easy. You work on the computer all day. I try to get my parents to do this because they're always on an iPad now, on an iPhone, on their computer too. People be sitting around all the time. And my dad watches my videos now. I know, he told me, you better be doing these exercises. And share this with your friend because everyone needs to move their spine. No one moves their thoracic spine enough. And these are two great ways to move your thoracic spine. Another thing that you can start to move is actually your neck. And this one is actually really hard to do. And you can do it sitting against a chair. If your chair is much higher, it's really good. But you want to make sure you're not looking up, but making sure you're looking directly straight. So your chin is a little bit down. And imagine someone coming in to try to kiss you and you go, ew, right? So you're a little bit down. Don't go back and look up because then that's going to crush the bones up in the back and it won't feel really nice. Majority of people, I can tell you because I do this all the time with my patients, majority of the time they don't do it right and they need a little bit of guidance and help to make sure they're doing it right. Go find yourself a trusted therapist and see if they'll help you do this right. This helps so many different problems, but the most important thing is to make sure your chin is down. Everyone starts like this and then ends like this, and we don't want that there. We want chin down, tuck it all the way back. I always joke around that I paid a lot of money to get rid of my double chin, and now I'm doing all these exercises to create the double chin. So I know, but keep that chin down, tuck it all the way back, and it's okay to lean back. What you don't want to do is tuck it back and scrunch your shoulders like this. It defeats the purpose, right? You're not doing it right. And then so if you're not doing it right, it won't help. What can I tell you? So if you're doing it but you're doing it wrong, it won't help you. Usually with cervical movements, I just tell my patients do about 5 of them. Neck muscles and bones and all that, they're very strong and sturdy, but they're also at the same time can get irritated fast depending on what's going on. So I usually just tell my patients like 5 times, just do those throughout the day. It's going to really help to move you. Believe it or not, when you move your spine and your neck, not only will you can check for yourself. I do this with my patients all the time. I check how their arms are moving. I check how their hands are moving. And then I move their spine. And then believe it or not, hey, all of a sudden their shoulders feel better. Their hands feel better. And it's because all of our shoulders sit on top of our spine and all of the nerves that go to our hands come out of our neck. So when we move our thoracic spine and we move our cervical spine, just everything moves a little bit better. So this is going to be able to help you to be able to lift better, to be able to reach better, and to be able to sleep better. So let me know if this helps you. Share this with your friends, share this with your family. Try this yourself. Again, like I said, I'm approaching 50, my parents are approaching 80, and I value living pain-free, avoiding injections and surgeries. Everyone wants to do injections and surgery nowadays, and you just want to make sure that you know that you actually need that, and what other things can you do before you approach those more invasive types of procedures. But my parents are almost 80, and I don't want them having injections and surgeries. I don't think that is necessarily as helpful for them. I want them to just move their bones, move their muscles, and if they're able to move better and their shoulders move and their hands move, then they can stay in their house and live more independently for as long as possible. Because I know after helping my in-laws move into a skilled nursing facility, that's not easy, and nobody wants to lose their independence. So if you can, try to keep it for as long as possible, and I hope this video helps you. So share it with a friend, like it, leave me a comment below, and let me know, did you try this and did it help? All right, see you next time.